Last night at 1:30 in the morning, the text of this 4,155-page spending spree was released. If you thought Congress couldn't possibly spend more money than it did last year, you would be wrong. How does Congress spend taxpayers' money? Well, here's just a few examples of how your government currently spends money. We found that they spent last year $2.3 million injecting beagles with cocaine. It seems that they were curious, their researchers were curious, despite the pain they inflicted on these dogs, they were curious to know if cocaine causes adverse effects. Look at the addicts across our country. You think you need to inject beagles with cocaine to know that cocaine's a bad deal. $700,000 was spent to study how male parrots attract their mate. Really? You've got people who go hungry in our country. You got people that are trying to get out from behind poverty, and we're spending $700,000 studying how male parrots attract a female. We spent $187,000 to study whether or not dogs help kids cope. Of course they do. Ask any pet owner. And $118,000 to study if a metal replica, a robot of Marvel Comics' evil warlord Thanos, could snap his finger. They apparently hired some dude to wear metal gloves and then try to snap his fingers. You know what? They found out that it's impossible to make a snapping sound with metal fingers. So robots of the world, be warned, it's hard to snap your fingers. We routinely look to Europe and we say, look how liberal, look how big government, look how socialized, and yet most of Europe actually balances their annual budget. Europe is a glaring example that fiscal responsibility is possible. It's not a pipe dream. It's terrible to put $6 trillion together in one bill, release it at 1:30 in the morning, and pass it, and you can read about it and find out what is in it later. There's an unholy alliance between both parties. One party wants more welfare, one wants more warfare. It's either the military-industrial complex or the welfare-industrial complex. Right now, the dollar's losing nearly 10% of its value on an annual basis, but there is a day when it's 10% a day or 10% an hour. Great countries have succumbed to the destruction of currency, and it happens through debt, through deficit financing, and it's coming to us. There is a day of reckoning. Unless we wake up and say enough's enough, we're going to do the prudent and rational thing. We're going to balance our budget.